What's up everyone, this is Dave LeClaire with MakeUseOf.com, and today we're here to take a look at the Chromecast with Google TV. Now this is Google's latest entry into the world of video streaming devices. However, it comes with a big twist compared to its previous models, and that is that this one actually has an interface. It is a modified version of Android TV, which it calls Google TV, and it is a complete game changer in terms of the way the Chromecast with Google TV is able to operate. No longer are you limited to just beaming stuff from your phone and playing it onto your TV. Now you can scroll through apps, you can scroll through recommendations, you can scroll through just about everything you could with any other one of these sorts of devices, but this one comes from Google. So, is this $50 dongle worth spending your money on? Should you run out to the store and buy a Chromecast with Google TV right now? Or should you hold your money and maybe stick with the $35 regular Chromecast? Or maybe should you get a Fire Stick or a Roku? So first of all, as far as the OS is concerned, it has Google TV, which is Google's version of Android TV. It's slightly modified to be a little bit more recommendation focused, and it has integration with all different sorts of apps. Speaking of apps, there's over 6,500 available to download. So if there's an app you're looking for, you can probably find it. And if you can't, there is support for side loading, so you can load up an app that you don't already have, that isn't available, and put it on there with just a little bit of finagling. You just have to turn on developer mode. It's pretty painless. It has support for 4K, so you can get all those pixels and all that high resolution content that you want. And it's powered by USB-C, not micro or mini USB. It is USB-C on the bottom, so you have the cord that comes with it, but if you have other USB-C cords lying around, you can power with those. However, one thing to note about the power is that you do have to plug it into the wall outlet. There are some newer TVs that will work with the TV's USB port, but for most TVs, you're gonna have to plug it into a wall outlet. You need to have at least 5 watts of power on your TV in order to be able to plug it in. Now, as far as the dongle itself goes, it's small, it fits right behind your TV rather nicely, and it comes in 3 different colors. There's white, blue, and pink. Google has fancy names for these colors: sunrise and snow and sky, but let's call them like they are. It's white, it's light blue, and it's a pinkish color. Now, you might think that doesn't necessarily matter. Why would the color matter? It's a dongle that's gonna go behind your TV and get whatever color you want, right? Wrong! There's a remote that comes with it, and the remote matches the color of the dongle. And that remote you're gonna actually see. It's gonna be out in your living room, it's gonna be in your hand, it's gonna be all over the place. You're gonna see the remotes. Now, speaking of that remote, that is the real game changer here. The remote is what makes this different from previous Google Chromecasts. While every other Chromecast was, your phone was the remote. You beamed content from your phone, you sent it over to the Chromecast. Now, you have an actual remote that can navigate through apps, can navigate through the OS backend, can navigate through settings, all that stuff. It comes with a Google Assistant button right on the remote, so you can simply search and say, find me something on Hulu, open Hulu, find me something on Netflix, find me horror movies, find me comedies. If the remote is really nice. It has a YouTube, it has a Netflix button, it has a back button, a home button, all the buttons that you really need in order to be able to do what you want to do. It is small, fits right in the palm of your hand. It'll even control your TV. There's a power button, an input button, and 2 volume buttons on the side, so you can control your volume on your TV or your home theater system. It's a well-designed little remote. It doesn't take up too much space. It's small, but it's thick enough that you won't lose it instantly like you may with like the Apple TV remote, for example. So it's definitely a well-made remote. Takes some batteries. Batteries come in the box. You don't have to worry about that for a while. Google did a good job with this remote, I gotta say. Now, as far as the experience of watching things on the Chromecast with Google TV, I gotta say I'm quite happy with what Google brings to the table here. Its front-end system integrates all of the apps that you choose, and you can tell it to ignore certain apps. So if you don't have HBO Max, for example, it will not show you recommendations from HBO Max outside of the one section which is popular on Google, and that shows you recommendations from all apps, regardless of whether you have a subscription to them or not. Otherwise, everything else will show you stuff based on what you actually have a subscription to. So if you see horror movies, you will see horror movies from Netflix, from Hulu, whatever you are subscribed to, whatever you've told Google you're subscribed to, you'll see recommendations from that. And it has found me some pretty cool stuff to watch that I may not have watched otherwise, because sometimes I don't think to even check Prime Video because I don't use it that much. But I've found a couple horror movies on there, perfect timing for October, that I didn't even know were on Prime Video, and I ended up watching them. So it works well in that regard. It is very simple. The OS, you scroll horizontally to check the different items under a subheading, and the different subheadings are vertical. Now, scrolling horizontally endlessly can take a little while as you're flipping from movie to movie to movie to movie. So that's a little bit slow. It maybe could have been a faster way to navigate through the OS, but That's okay, it's a minor gripe, not one that's gonna really affect your day-to-day life too much. It's just something to keep in mind. Now, once you find something you like, you click the center button on the remote, you launch it, and then Google takes you to a nice screen that shows you the trailer and shows you places to watch it. If it's on other services, you can add it to a watch list, which is across all the different apps you have installed. You could say you already watched it and then rate it, which helps Google learn whether or not you like stuff or not. And of course, you can actually watch it. You can also scroll down, you can see who's in the movie, you can see some movies that are similar to it. So it's like, oh man, I really like Fight Club. Well, here's some movies that are like Fight Club. It's a cool interface like that. It's very streamlined, everything loads quickly, and it just looks nice. It's just functional with some caveats. For example, with live TV, it is clearly meant to be used with YouTube TV, as that is Google's live TV service. So if you were to say something like, take me to the Yankees game, it's gonna take you to YouTube videos if you don't have YouTube TV installed. Even though I have Hulu with live TV, it does not know to open the Hulu app and then launch the Yankees game. So that is a limitation if you are outside of the Google ecosystem and you prefer to use Sling or Hulu with live TV, for example. You may find that that holds this device back slightly. Now, personally, I didn't find it to be a deal breaker. I'm a Hulu with live TV subscriber. I still used it just fine. I just had to do the extra step. And it is something that Google could update with a software update down the road. They could make it so that other live TV services are integrated at an OS level in the same way that Netflix is integrated at the OS level, or in the same way that other non-Google streaming services are right into the Google TV. So all in all, I have to say I'm quite impressed with what Google did with the Chromecast with Google TV here. Considering that it is a complete departure from the way the company made its previous video devices, in that it actually has an operating system, though I should note you can still beam stuff to it from your phone if you want. It works just like it would with an old Chromecast, so you still have that functionality if that's something you want. For 50 bucks with 4K, it has all the other apps that you could want except for Apple TV Plus, which I'm personally not a subscriber of, not a big deal to me, but if you are, that is something to note, that you can't use Apple TV Plus. But as long as those are little small things are not deal breakers for you, this is a fantastic streaming stick that easily goes head to head with the Fire and the Roku. It's now a 3-ring battle between the three. They're all really good. They all have similar sets of features. It's really gonna come down to whose ecosystem that you are more invested in. Personally, I am more invested into Google's ecosystem, and I tend to like Google products. So I'm gonna put one of these on all my TVs. It's a really good device. If you're looking for a new streaming stick, run on out, pick up a Chromecast with Google TV. Yes, the name is not pretty and it's clunky and it's long, and I've had to do like 30 takes trying to say it correctly because I keep saying the Google Chromecast and the TV Chromecast and the Cast TV Chrome. But either way, snag a Chromecast with Google TV, hook it up to your TV. You will like it. The remote is nice. The dongle is nice. Once they add support for Apple TV Plus, which I'm sure is coming at some point, and they integrate live TV from other services a little better, it will really be a perfect little streaming stick for pretty much anybody. And once again, this is Dave LeClaire with MakeUseOf.com. Thank you very much for watching this review. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you found it helpful. Make sure to like and subscribe and all that other good stuff, and we will see you guys in the next one.